Welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. Gonna do a quick update on baseball. Okay, you ready? Losing, winning, 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 losing, winning, winning, losing, winning, losing, losing, tied, losing. All right, so that's the update. We're in the home stretch. Most of my teams are in the playoffs. Some of my teams are not. That's all I wanted to discuss for now. Because, come on, guys. How many times can I update you on exactly what's going on here? But, just whatever. Let's take a look at this one. Anyways, C4, Random City C4 in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. Okay, gonna close that down because we got a fantasy football draft coming. There we go. Fantasy football draft is coming. And, I'm looking forward to this one. Looks like I'm the 8th pick. Number 8. Would be nice if I could steal Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. That'd be quite a nice little thing to have. And then come back around, get Sam Laporta, and then wait on David Montgomery. And then, boom, I've got all of Detroit's touchdowns. And that wouldn't be terrible. They're a good offense. So we'll see how this one plays out. We got 3.5 minutes till the draft comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll skip ahead.
Up and down your draft. Those are the guys who tend to have ceilings that aren't necessarily reflected in their draft cost. Remember, this is a game in which you don't have to nail absolutely every pick. Instead, you just need to get 2 or 3 big things right, and you should cruise to the playoffs.
All right, so let's talk about what I'm thinking about with most of my drafts this year. Guys, I need to get a big running back early. Seriously. With my draft position, I should be able to get Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't know about A.J. Brown. Definitely don't know about Garrett Wilson. I like Taylor. I like Gibbs. I like Derrick Henry. I like Saquon. So, I've got a lot of ways to get a big receiver, big running back to start. That'd be a good start to my draft. I like the way that's going to look. Later on, there's stuff that happens later on, fellas, here. You got to be thinking about later on. A lot of people think that the first 5-6 rounds is all that matters. Holy cow. When we're talking about getting down here to pick, let's scroll back up. We get down here where you got Christian Watson, Tony Pollard, Cortland Sutton, Trey Benson, Javonte Williams. Guys, you got to be ready to pick who you're going to be taking here. Who's going to fill in the remainder of your team? Chase Brown's looking good in Cincinnati, isn't he? I don't know about Jameson Williams. Love Detroit. Rashid Shaheed. If you've got return yards in your league, you might want to look at him. He's going to get some return yards. Charbonnet, I don't hate the idea. Nick Chubb, when he comes back, should do well. I don't know if I'm going to be taking one of these quarterbacks here. Blake Corum is an insurance policy on Kyron Williams, who's often injured. Jerome Ford, don't hate that. I'm not going to be touching Justin Herbert now that he's got the plantar fascia injury. I've seen that take out so many. Tyler Algier is going to have a supporting role, gobbling up some touchdowns. He'll be a vulture there. A lot of folks interested in Dontavian Wicks late in the draft. How about Antonio Gibson? If you've got Ramondre Stevenson, you might think about. A lot of folks don't like the handcuffs and insurance policies. I personally do. All right, so we've got Team 1 on the clock, and they're set to auto-draft. I've got 3 auto-drafters in this league. Crap. Are there more? No, we just got 3. See this circle over here on the left? It's like 2 arrows in a circle. That tells you that they're on auto-draft. Makes it easy to draft against them, but it makes the draft less fun. So, to me personally, I'd rather have somebody there. I'd rather have someone in that position. Again, he takes Christian McCaffrey because he's auto-draft. Next pick will take CeeDee Lamb because he's auto-draft. After that, I don't know what Todd is going to do. There went CeeDee Lamb. And he took Tyreek Hill. You know, Tyreek Hill, how is he just constantly such a force in fantasy football? Love the guy. Breece Hall, interesting young fella. You know, last year, amazing. Breece Hall was amazing last year, seriously. Saquon Barkley. Philadelphia is going to be took an Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, that's unfortunate for me. But yeah, Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia, is he going to get the opportunities? Is Jalen Hurts going to take the opportunities at the goal line? You know, there's a lot of mouths to feed in Philadelphia, so. And Justin Jefferson. So now, what are we going to do here? I've done Ja'Marr Chase before, okay? He's pretty good. I don't know, he's never really, to me, lived up to that top hype. A.J. Brown, you know, getting up there in years. Jonathan Taylor, for what he played last year when he got back on the field. Bijan Robinson had a pretty good time when he was on the field. I'm not taking Garrett Wilson. I could take Jahmyr Gibbs, although that's really early for a Jahmyr Gibbs. All right, well, interesting. I think I'm going to go Ja'Marr Chase. I know he doesn't live up to the hype of a first rounder. He's never really done it. He has good games throughout the year, but he doesn't have consistent production. Okay, and I don't care for that. I would rather have had Amon-Ra St. Brown right there. A lot of folks might be, hey, why didn't you take Robinson? Well, I didn't want to take Robinson. Okay, that's just, I'm not all in on Bijan Robinson. I know a lot of folks are. I get it, you know, but I fight against my biases all the time. I fought and took Ja'Marr Chase because I fought against my bias against him. I mean, I can't take everybody, although that'd be nice. Pick whoever you want every round. That'd be great. But yeah, I've got Ja'Marr Chase, so I have some Jahmyr Gibbs. I have some Derrick Henry. I don't think I have any Kyren Williams yet. I'm not going to grab a rookie wide receiver in the second round, even though Puka sitting right here proving me wrong. Don't be afraid of taking a rookie wide receiver. But Puka was undrafted last year in almost every league I saw. You know, people just got lucky and got him. Excuse me. So, will it be Gibbs or will it be Derrick Henry? Gibbs or Henry? Gibbs or Henry? Gibbs, Henry. Gibbs, Henry. Gibbs, Henry. Henry had a good year last year. Gibbs had a good year last year. Henry's in Baltimore. Gibbs stayed in Detroit. All right, we'll take another Derrick Henry. I don't know. Excuse me. Allergies getting the best of me right now. Gibbs or Henry? Got to make the choice, my friend. I'm going to take Derrick Henry. I'm going to take him. Gonna take that. All right, so Ja'Marr Chase, Derrick Henry. This already looks different because that Ja'Marr Chase is different. Guy after me got Jahmyr Gibbs, probably happy about that. And we have a long way till it comes back. So, when you're drafting your team, keep an eye on what you're doing. Watch your own biases. Maybe you're biased towards somebody. Maybe you're biased against somebody. Right now, my plan is in place. I've got one wide receiver, one running back. Worked out. I would prefer this was Amon-Ra St. Brown, but it's Ja'Marr Chase. You can't complain about that. And and there goes Harrison. Pacheco's already gone too. Garrett Wilson's gone. Taking a big risk on Marvin Harrison Jr. I know he is amazing. There goes Devontae Adams. I had some of Devontae Adams last year, and as you know, if you had him or if you paid attention, it didn't go great. It is what it is, fellas. So I have him one time this year on one of my 3 leagues, excuse me. And I don't know what I'm doing with my 3rd round pick yet. I've been twice. I have Sam Laporta in that 3rd round. I believe I'm going to skip out on that this time around. I may look at some of these other fellows. These, Achane, Nico Collins, not Josh Jacobs. I think he's hurt right now, as a matter of fact, isn't he? He's got a groin injury. Missed 2 practices, but I just don't know. Mike Evans with the 20th pick. I have some Mike Evans too. I do like me some Mike Evans. But anyways, we'll see what gets back to me here. I'm prepared to be fluid. There goes Etienne. I'm prepared to be fluid and flow with the draft itself. Chris Olave, number 22. Forgive me, fellas, while I grab a Foster's. Australian phobia. All right, so Achane went with number 23, and then Ayuk number 24. If I take Achane, I'm doing everything I can. Oh, there goes Lamar Jackson, first quarterback. Look, that's incredible. That's a good point. I don't have any early quarterback investments. Well, I do have Lamar Jackson once. But I've also got Brock Purdy and Jordan Love. There goes Laporta with the 26th pick. Maybe I should look at some of these quarterbacks that are still here. I could do a Josh Allen. I like some of these fellas that are available. But I could do a Josh Allen. Let's do a Josh Allen. Get the stud quarterback. So we've got Allen, Chase, Henry. Do you see how this is turning out? This is looking great already, right? And there goes Josh Jacobs, the other Josh. Kelsey, Patrick Mahomes. Man, I kind of love that I have Josh Allen, guys. I'm being honest. That's a first for me this year. One more pick till mine. There's some great choices here, great options. I'm looking here at Nico Collins, maybe Joe Mixon, who's hurt. Well, there went Nico Collins, so I'm not looking at him anymore. There's Rashad White, Devonta Smith, James Cook. There's Tank Dell. A little early for him, if you ask me. Drake London. That is an interesting position. I don't think I... Look, he's had a couple years, and he hasn't broke out. He should be able to break out, but he hasn't ever in any season. So I don't know what to think of that there. Gosh, I really like the idea of getting James Cook. I'm going to take James Cook, fellas. Yeah, I like the idea there. There's other wide receivers I can grab other than these fellas that are about the same guy. But James Cook's not getting back to me. A lot of the other running backs that are getting back to me, they're right in line with, what I'll be fine with this draft. Or where's my wide receiver? Let's take a look. Wide receivers. Look at what's still available here. There's a lot of guys that I can consider my WR2. So I'm feeling pretty good. I suspect that getting back to me, maybe Jalen, maybe Cooper Kupp. Amari Cooper, I could see Amari Cooper getting back to me. Devonta Smith. Tank Dell will definitely get back to me, and I like Tank Dell. So I've got plenty of time on that. As I said with the running backs, look at some of these running backs that are still here. You got Kamara, Montgomery. If you got Gibbs, that's a nice play. Mixon, how long do we think he's going to be able to... Let's see, minor quadricep injury, dealing with a soft tissue injury early in training camp, been ruled out for the preseason opener. I don't know. Told you about my friend. Oh, there went Cooper Kupp, Jalen Hurts, Drake London. So let's get back to all players here. Joe Mixon. A lot of WR2s available, fellas. There goes Rachaad White. Rachaad White. A little bit of a surprise for a lot of folks. DK Metcalf. Man, let's see. Okay, he's going to take Pittman, right? Trey McBride went after DK Metcalf. But he's going to take Pittman because he's on auto draft, and he took Richardson. Auto draft is going differently. All right. I'm still happy with any of these guys for my WR2. Going to be very happy. Who else is around here? Tank Dell still there. T. Higgins. There's another one. T. Higgins. Look at last season. I mean, does that a lot. I don't know what to say sometimes. I don't want to badmouth T. Higgins. He's a great football player. Doesn't seem to ever be able to play an entire season and really put up those big numbers. He's a WR2 on his own team. So, there goes Montgomery, 43rd pick. Shoot. Kyler Murray. Yes, please keep taking those guys. Jalen Waddle. What else we got, fellas? Stephon Diggs. So, they're staring me down with Pittman, Moore, Dell. It's irresistible wide receiver time. Got a WR1, now I'm going to get 2 WR2s. That's pretty awesome. And in Yahoo, it's a half point per reception. So when we look at, let's take a look at DJ Moore last year. He had 96 receptions. He had a great WR1 points up here, man. Seriously. Okay, so there went Moore. So, I talked about him. That's my mistake. But yeah, those 96 receptions gave him 48 points right there by itself. All right, but we're going to take Pittman. And then on the way back, I don't know, Cooper, Smith, Tank Dell. Imagine if he had been able to finish the season. Not in for Zay Flowers. Is there anybody else here that I really can't resist? I mean, I like Kamara. Neighbors. Seriously, a rookie wide receiver in... after that went Kenneth Walker. I just don't know about Malik Neighbors, a rookie wide receiver. I've been watching Hard Knocks. Sure, kid looks good and all that, but it's the Giants. It's a rookie wide receiver. He's got to adjust to the NFL, fellas. You ask me, you go up against a bunch of world-class athletes. There goes Connor, Arizona running back. You're going from college to playing world-class athletes at the highest level. It's hard. It's difficult. Although Puka sure did show he could do it, didn't he? Devonta Smith, he's another one that's just feast or famine, right? Okay. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. I don't feel like doing tight end right now. I've got a silly plan for later on. Just plain silly. And we're looking, going down a few rounds. You know what? I think I'm going to do, fellas, I think I'm going to go ahead and take Kamara. He's pretty darn good. Let's just go take Kamara. All right, so this team is shaping up nicely. Allen with Chase, Pittman, Henry, Cook, and Kamara. And now we'll grab some more of those wide receivers we like to talk about. One of whom I'd like to see be, I'm going to go ahead and queue some players up. So let's queue up some fellas here. We're going to queue up Calvin Ridley. Okay. That's a much later on pick. It doesn't have to be too much later on, though. But, guys, I'm telling you, with DeAndre Hopkins getting hurt, you know, right here was his competition for being WR1, and Hopkins, he's hurt in the preseason. He might be back for opening day. I'm going to queue up Jaden Reed as well. Love Jaden Reed. And I want to queue up, this is going to sound weird, Xavier Worthy. Okay? And then these fellas here, I like Tank Dell. I do like Christian Kirk. Hollywood Brown heading to Kansas City. What does that do for him? I don't know. You know, it's a big difference over where he's been. Keenan Allen is showing signs of his age, but, you know, he's still, look at last year. Just look at that. 108 receptions for over 1,200 yards with 7 touchdowns. There goes Najee Harris. Oh, this is an auto drafter. Okay, yep. And George Kittle. Oh, for tight end. What am I thinking on tight end here? Okay. Let's bring them up. There's Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram, Ferguson, Njoku, Goddard, Schultz, Freiermuth, Brock Bowers, Musgrave. There goes Zay Flowers and Kincaid. You know, I mean, I'm not really all about Kyle Pitts. Evan Ingram, I can handle. You know, he'd had a good year last year. Jake Ferguson, okay. Njoku, man, this guy, I watched him last season in some games and was just amazed. Absolutely amazed at how well he could run after the catch. Runs excellent routes, got good hands. So let's cue him up. All right, moving along. So we're going to look back over here at wide receiver. Well, we've already looked at him. We've queued him up. And there goes Keenan Allen. Well, it was a nice thought. I was hoping. But, as my dad always said, hope in one hand and poop in the other. One of them's going to get full, the other one's going to stay empty. Should we let the dogs out? Doggos, who wants to go outside? Okay, so. And right here, they left me Tank Dell. So I'm going to do it. Thank you, Tank Dell, for being on my team. All right, so we're going to look back at running backs again. There's Jalen Warren. I can wait on him. I don't hate DeAndre Swift. Spears, Pollard. There's Trey Benson. How is Trey Benson doing? And they're not talking about it, but I haven't seen great stuff out of him in preseason here. But I mean, he's learning the NFL. Excuse me. Really got a battlefield here with the wide receivers: Tank Dell, Jamar Chase, and Michael Pittman. That's great. Oh, I just noticed someone just took Caleb Williams, the Chicago quarterback rookie. Okay, there goes Jaden Reed. He won't be on my team. There goes DeAndre Swift. Took the rookie Williams from Chicago with the 67th pick. There goes George Pickens. All right, well, the dogs are back in. So we're back to moi. All right, Zach Moss not doing great. I think I would take Chase Brown ahead of him. Spears, Pollard. Okay, I don't want any of them. Give me Calvin Ridley, fellas. There we go. Another potential big wide receiver. So we're sitting pretty good here. At least I'm happy. Got a ways till it gets back to me, though. What is this? This will be my 9th pick coming up. Dak Prescott, number 75. Kind of a bargain at quarterback, fellas. Yeah, Dak Prescott, that's Christian Kirk. Now, just because I have these guys queued up doesn't mean that's who I have to take, right? I can make different choices. I can make bad choices all day. Don't make me get out here making bad choices. All right, we're taking defenses. Oh, these are auto picks. Of course they're taking defenses. Of course they are. And wow, that one's going to be disappointed. His auto drafted him into 2 defenses. But it's the Jets and Baltimore, so, there goes Justin Tucker. Why wouldn't you take Justin Tucker? We all need a kicker with our 9th pick. Well, you need a kicker eventually. Although there's a good draft strategy where folks will just go ahead and ignore kicker. Come back and get a kicker just by picking one up off the waiver wire before the season starts. Use that draft position to try to find another player, just a gem that might be hidden. I'm sitting good on receivers right now, so I think I'm going to load up on some more running backs. Tennessee's Pollard and Spears. If I'm taking one, I'm taking both. There goes Brian Robinson. You got Chase Brown, worth a risk. Jalen Warren, I have a couple times already. I've done that one. I've done, well, maybe Moss. And, Singletary is going to be the guy with the Giants. So that's a good thought. You know, I haven't done any Singletary yet. He did fine last year. It wasn't a spectacular year. You know, I'd rather do some Pollard. All right, if I'm doing Pollard, I'm going to try to focus on Spears. How many bench spots do I have? 4 bench spots left. Pollard, Spears, or Moss and Brown. Let's take Pollard. Guess I don't have to take Moss. I mean, I could if I want to. I could just take Brown. On the way back, I'm going to take Xavier Worthy. Get that sealed up. Rashee Rice and Ferguson. Singletary. Who are you taking, Draft King? Who are you taking? Take your time. It's a tough pick. A lot of decisions to make, my friend. Let's go back up here. I'm just admiring this. Allen, Chase, Pittman, Henry, Cook, Kamara, Tank Dell, Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard. Let's take Worthy. Papow. Got the rookie in the 10th round. See, that's when you take a chance on a rookie wide receiver. Of course, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a generational talent, fellas. I mean, we know how good he is. But will he be that good this year? We hope so. But what about Malik Neighbors? Will he be worth the price this year? Hard saying. Who is in competition for catches? Which means he can get double teamed. Which means, you know, he's going to face a lot of pressure. So, what will happen with him? Yeah. I don't know how it's going to go for Malik Neighbors. They need another weapon to go along with him. You know, and it's fun watching Hard Knocks and all. They hype up these guys, and you get feeling good about them, and that creates this bias that you live with. And there goes McConkey from the Chargers. Speaking of the Chargers, take a look at the running back situation with the Chargers, okay? What were we discussing earlier, me and my friend of mine? Okay, Vidal doesn't seem to be rising to the occasion. J.K. Dobbins does. And the other one is Gus Edwards. Okay. Well, someone's got to get the rock, right? But they're all sitting right there. So what do you do? What do you do, hotshot? You know, if they let Malik Neighbors go another round, I'm taking him, right? You get that? Nope, of course not. Jordan Addison with Justin Jefferson coming back full force this year. I mean, these guys, are they quarterback dependent? I don't know. Jalen Warren's gone. Hollywood Brown finally. I don't think anybody will touch Hopkins. Deontay Johnson, Carolina now. It's weird not seeing him in Pittsburgh, but here we are. Hopkins, someone's taking a chance. Oh, yeah, the auto draft team's taking a chance. Brooks, this is from his injury in college. He should establish himself as Carolina's starter eventually, but he tore his ACL. Just saying. How in love with that are you? I don't know if I'm in love with it either, fellas. I don't know. Taking the Washington quarterback, okie doke, Ezekiel Elliott. All right, why not? I mean, who's going to compete with him? Is Rico Dowdle competing with him? Maybe. And I think now would be the time for me to pull the trigger on Njoku. That'll fill in the other piece of my starting lineup, minus kicker and defense. This bench is looking great, though. Dell, Ridley, Pollard, and Worthy. Huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, they took Njoku. Well, then I'll take Evan Ingram. Fine. Anyways, that's gonna be working fine. Knew I'd be taking a tight end here. That's when you get sniped. That's called, that's bad luck. Just taking him right before me. It's unfortunate. So, looking to fill in some bench. Running back, there's Benson, there's Brooks, there's Chase Brown, there's Corum, there's Jerome Ford. That's going to be your guy while Chubb is out. Till Chubb comes back, he's going to have him some, he did plenty good last year in the absence, 189 points. Eckler, and that's my bias coming in. Eckler is giving me bias. I'm not in love with you anymore, Eckler. A couple years ago, he was my ride or die. Now he's on my bad side. We all get old. As a guy who is officially old, I know this all too well. All right, wide receivers, we're back here. Nothing I'm in love with. Running backs. There's Trey Benson. There's Jonathan Brooks. There's Blake Corum. Chase Brown. Chase Brown. I just don't know if Zach Moss can keep him off the field. I don't know. All right, I'm going to do Chase Brown. I don't have any Chase Browns, so I'm going to do a Chase Brown. Cool. Got it. And then where do we go? What do I have left? I Okay, my microphone went down for a while there. So you didn't get the luxury of hearing me talk. But let's take a look at the team overall, okay? We got Josh Allen at quarterback. Jamar Chase, Michael Pittman as our WR1 and 2. Derrick Henry and James Cook as our RB1 and 2. Evan Ingram at tight end. Alvin Kamara at flex position, although that can be replaced by Tank Dell. Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard. Or if Worthy or Brown or Ford or maybe even I took Keon Coleman to take a chance on, that's a couple of rookie wide receivers I took there, right? We're looking at Worthy and Coleman, taking a chance, using those late rounds to see what might emerge. Chase Brown, Jerome Ford. There's going to be a lot of things that change about this team. I went with the no kicker so I could fill in with a different guy. I could have gone no defense, but I chose to go with Indianapolis. I have no problem with Indianapolis for my defense. That could be something I stream in and out. Other teams, I'm not real worried. But yeah, this is looking good. Looking real good. I'm happy with Dell, Ridley, Tony Pollard I'm happy with, Chase Brown and Xavier Worthy I'm happy with, Jerome Ford, Keon Coleman. So overall, I believe this came out pretty good. Now, if you, please don't do this to yourself, I'm going to click on standings. This is going to tell you it's going to tell you nothing. Okay? And it really doesn't tell you anything. But it'll tell you how many points you're getting from the quarterback position. All of these people drafted 2. I'm the only person who drafted 1. Wide receivers. This fella drafted more wide receivers than me. Running backs. It just tells you what your total points from that position are. There's a lot of folks who drafted 2 tight ends. I drafted 1. The kicker position, here's a guy who drafted 2 kickers. I have 0. And defense, there's 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams that drafted 2 defenses. Look, don't count on this standings thing. It's not helping you, fellas. It's not. This guy, look, he's in first. But he's got 2 quarterbacks, so he's automatically got me by, 300 points there? It just doesn't matter. Don't do it to yourself. Don't look at the standings. Look at your team. Look at your draft results. Feel good about who you drafted. I feel good about this team. This all feels good. So, anyhow, there's another draft for the Random City Sports Ballers football season. Hope you don't mind the very quick update on fantasy baseball. We're coming in on the home stretch. Playoffs are around the corner. I'll get you more updates as far as that goes here shortly, okay? All right, but anyhow, thanks for tuning in, fellas.